Have you ever stopped to think about what it really means to be rich? We're going to jump into a story that Jesus told. And let me tell you, it kind of flips our whole idea of wealth right on its head. So let's start with this. What do you think makes a person rich? I mean, what's the first thing that pops into your head? A huge house, a fancy car, stacks and stacks of money. Well, let's see if this story maybe changes our minds a little bit.
Okay, so picture this. Jesus is in front of this huge crowd of people, and he's talking about some really important stuff. You know, like trusting God and not worrying. But right in the middle of it all, there's this one guy who clearly isn't paying attention to the big lesson.
Now this guy, he could see that Jesus was wise and special. But instead of asking about, how to live a better life or something that actually matters, he was totally stuck on one thing and one thing only: his own money.
He literally just shouts out and interrupts everybody to try and get Jesus to settle a family squabble over an inheritance. This just shows you exactly where his head was at. Money was the only thing on his mind.
But Jesus, well, he saw right through it. He knew the problem wasn't really about who got what share of the money. Nope. The real problem was something much deeper. It was about the greed that was in the man's heart. So Jesus basically says, "Whoa, hold on. Who made me the judge of your family arguments?" He's making it super clear that his mission is way, way bigger than settling fights about stuff that doesn't last, like money or property.
And then Jesus puts a name on the real problem: greed. Sometimes it's called covetousness. It's that little voice inside that's always screaming, "More for me. I need more. I want more." And that feeling, it can make us totally forget about anyone else.
And this right here is a massive warning. He's saying, be careful. Watch out for this feeling. Because a good life, a real life, isn't measured by how much stuff you can pile up. Your life is worth so much more than just your possessions.
So to make sure this idea really sinks in for everyone, Jesus tells them a quick story, a parable, about this really successful farmer.
So this farmer, he was doing great. God gave him perfect weather, sun, rain, the whole deal. And his farm produced this absolutely gigantic harvest. It was so huge, he literally ran out of space in his barns to store it all. And right here, this is the big moment. The farmer's got a choice to make. He has way more than he could ever possibly need. He could be a total hero and share all this extra food with people who need it. Or he could just keep it all for himself. What do you think he's going to do?
Just think about it. What an incredible opportunity. He could have fed so many hungry people, helped out families who were struggling. But instead of seeing it as a chance to be generous, he only thought about himself.
And will you look at his plan? It's all about I, me, and my. I'm going to tear down my barns and build bigger ones so I can store all my stuff. There's not one single thought about God, who gave him the harvest, and not one single thought for anyone else.
He actually starts talking to himself like, "Hey, you've done it. You've got enough stuff stored up for years and years. Time to kick back, relax, eat, drink, and just enjoy life." He seriously thought he had it all figured out.
So the farmer's convinced his plan is absolutely perfect. But he made one giant mistake, a fatal one actually. He forgot to include God in any of his plans. And what happens when you leave God out of the equation?
Well, this is what happens. God speaks to him, and it's a total shocker. He says, "You fool, tonight your life is over." Just let that sink in. What good is all that stuff now? Whose is it going to be? He can't take any of it with him. So what Jesus is showing us here is that there are two totally different ways to be rich. You can be like the farmer, just piling up treasures for yourself here on earth. Or you can choose to be rich toward God. And what does that mean, to be rich toward God? Well, it has zero to do with money. It's all about using the good things God has given you, your time, your abilities, your kindness, and sharing them to help other people. That love, that kindness, that's the treasure that actually lasts forever.
So as we wrap this up, here's a little something to think about. It doesn't have to be some grand, huge gesture. What's just one small way you can be rich toward God today? Maybe it's just sharing a snack, or helping someone who's struggling, or even just offering a kind word. That is what being truly rich is all about.